Ann May, she's the city clerk in Muskegon, and she first received between 8 and 10,000 voter registration application forms from this individual, one woman. And that's when she alerted the Muskegon police. The Muskegon Police Department then must have alerted the Attorney General's office, Dana Nessel, our lawless Michigan Attorney General. She then asked the Michigan State Police to become involved in the investigation. And that's kind of where the report starts, because this is a Michigan State Police report. And as you can see, it's pretty heavily redacted. So what they did do, though, what's interesting is in a couple different places in the report, they accidentally, I'm not sure, they left out the name of the woman who dropped off the between 8 and 10,000 voter registration applications. And in the report, the Muskegon city clerk mentions that this woman brought an additional 2,500 voter applications, and I think it was the following day. And that's when the police started following her. Another interesting point is the police began tracking these individuals that they thought were involved in this ring of voter registration fraud in Michigan. And they were using the same technology, the GPS tracking that True the Vote used, that Democrats and the media mocked as being inaccurate and unreliable. So I think that's
been kind of busy lately.
That's important to note, because throughout the report, they talk about the GPS tracking that they used. They started in Muskegon with the report. They were able to identify that an organization was working out of a California eyewear company building that had been vacated. So it was a vacant building, but it was formerly a California eyewear building, and I think it still had the signage out front. So it was very discreet. They started the investigation in Muskegon. The investigation led them to multiple cities across the state of Michigan, including Flint, I think Grand Rapids, Ypsilanti, Southfield. Southfield is where they found the cache of weapons, including semi-automatic weapons and other guns in this facility, where they found bags of prepaid voting cards. They identify at least one burner phone in the report. They talk about all the iPads that were being used by the individuals that were hired. Now, GBI Strategies is unredacted in the report, which is interesting. They're unredacted twice. And the report that we have is, I think, 58 pages long. But throughout the report, they are redacted. So I'm not sure why they were left, for us to see in the report twice. So we were able to find GBI Strategies. And they also mentioned the owner of GBI Strategies in the report, Gary Bell. We were able to determine that I think he's in Tennessee. But what he was doing is he was using outside organizations to hire these workers who were canvassing. And
my wife had doctor's appointments. I tend to go with her to her doctor's appointments. I made home a while after that. It was too late to start one, because other people coming on at 7
and bringing in these registrations. I think what's really important to also note,
hey, Charles,
is that recently.
Also, I get tons of communications, and I can't reply to them all right away about what's going on in Iran, Iraq, and all that.
Our lawless Attorney General, Dana Nessel, announced 8 felony charges against 16 electors in Michigan who she claims cast fake electoral votes, which is completely inaccurate. They cast an alternate set of electoral.
The problem is the left has zero morals, absolutely none.
Votes, and they did it because the investigations were not completed
by any means necessary to grab power
in Michigan, and there was so many ongoing investigations and lawsuits being filed that they weren't comfortable with the outcome of the election, and so therefore they cast the alternate set of electoral votes. So recently, Dana Nessel came out and made a statement and talked about in a fake press conference why she was pressing charges, 8 felony charges on these 16 individuals, 15 of which are senior citizens. And many of these charges carry up to 14 years in prison, each charge. But she announced the reason.
Sorry to say, John, that she has a weak heart. They've done the abrasion. She's had open heart surgery 4 times and many other surgeries, At some point, there's not much more they can do than just try to give her lots of meds and keep her stable as they can that way.
That these electors knew that there was no evidence of mass voter fraud in Michigan. So it's interesting that Dana Nestle's investigators, criminal investigators, were working on this report, and they were also working with our crooked Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, with her office to look at the registrations. So I think it's also important to note that once these registrations are accepted, these applications, these names and fake addresses or fake identifications stay in our voter rolls until somebody identifies them. So, they can be used again in future elections. So, and this is just one individual that turned in between 8 and 10,000 applications in one day. So you can only imagine the size and scope of this investigation with all these additional cities involved. And these are just the cities that they identify in this report. It could have been even more widespread than what we're seeing in this report. We don't know, because what happened was, and I think it was in I'm just going to look at the report. It looks like somewhere around May 28, 2021, they announced that the case would remain, the Michigan State Police announced that the case would remain open, even though the FBI had taken over the case, because they believed that there was a multi-state operation taking place with GBI Strategies and other outside organizations. So
that's why this SAVE Act is so important. Voter ID, all this kind of stuff. A lot of this stuff she's talking about, they wouldn't be able to get away with it, not so easily anyway.
So those are just to kind of, give a little bit of background on what
the ballot stuffing and all that
we're seeing in the report here. We had a Republican-led Senate and House in Michigan, and the Republican Senate that investigated election fraud in Michigan released a report that I think everybody in the country knows about it, stating that there was no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the state of Michigan. They released that report at the same time that Jocelyn Benson's office and Dana Nestle's office were involved in this investigation of widespread voter fraud across the state of Michigan. And instead of saying, oh, wait, hold up, no, we've got a major investigation here, they allowed that report to stand, and they actually praised them for their statement. People are working with Democrats behind the scenes. It's all about the next lobby job for these people. It's not about our rights as voters or citizens in Michigan.
Yep. And they'll keep doing it unless we jail them. They got to be jailed. And enough of them, some more don't do it. Here's some more talk on the stealing here by Valentina Gomez.
Texas, they're stealing my election by completely removing my name from the ballot. So if you don't see my name on the ballot, do not leave the polling site until they give you a ballot with my name on it.
They told me that I could not vote for you.
Really? So, and you saw everybody else's name except mine?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And you live in Bell County, right?
I live in Bell County.
Can you tell me the city of where you live, please?
Rogers, Texas.
Rogers, yes, that's part of the district.
You're the only one that scared them, so that's why they're coming after you.
Yes, and
Come this way. I'll be more than glad to meet you there and confront that lady in front of you.
oh, I would love to, Sammy. They know exactly what they're doing. They're stealing the election. They're helping John Carter. And the only way they can win is by taking me out of the ballots.
Yes.
That's the only way they can win, by cheating, because nobody in good conscience wants to vote for an 84-year-old dude. So Texas, we have to make this too big to rig, or otherwise the Lone Star State will fall to the Mohammeds.
My problem isn't the 84 years old. It's that he votes for the Democrats so much. He's a rhino.
I'm going to read you exactly what he posted. He said, quote, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. He says the auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the President of the United States. He also says in that post,
Colin, I got a good one about Starmer up there. He's blocking some bill going through. Something to do with, I guess, Starmer's going to start allowing, because the Muslims want it, to be able to marry their cousins in England.
Quote, I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally. He goes on to say in that post, Joe Biden was not involved in the auto pen process. And if he says he was, he'll be brought up on charges of perjury. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Of course, this was just posted moments ago to Truth Social. Again, the president, as we know, following him is at the golf course. So, of course, we're hoping to confirm and get any more information about this. Celicia.
Dana Marie McNichol.
Yep, it's about the auto pen. A lot of the stuff that went through was people on his staff signing him. I'm not sure which one. A lot of them was Jill, I'm sure. All right, there's a lot of peed off people about the Democrats here.
When I tell you that I wanted to vomit when I looked at Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral, I really literally thought that it was going to be a joyous occasion. I thought they were going to remember and list down everything that this man had achieved, all his legacies, the trials and tribulations that he went through. No, instead, these delusional, sorry, stinking bastard Democrats made it about them. I can't believe you all disrespected that damn man's funeral like that. And I'm not going to shut my mouth up any longer because that was so messed up what you all did.
Yeah, I seen that video, Colin. Whites aren't allowed there anymore. And they're doing that in some of the schools, too. I got some of the PE off, too.
The family couldn't even grieve. But they basically told you bastards not to make it political, and you did it anyway. Y'all do not care about the family. Y'all didn't care about Jesse. Y'all didn't care about nothing. Y'all stomped on that man's time. That was his homegoing, and y'all made it about trying to push a political narrative that nobody wants to follow behind y'all on. The pastor got up there and he said that the Capitol was full of pedophiles and podcasters. That was horrible. Horrible. Then Obamacare got up there and he said, there was nothing but ignorance,
hey, Tammy,
dishonesty and cruelty and corruption going on. But he wasn't talking about the administration now. He was talking about you damn delusional Democrats that have stolen Ilhan Omar with the Somalian community, all type of other people. Jasmine Crockett running a district, but don't even be there half the time. That's who the fuck he was talking about. All you people that have made money, Nancy Pelosi, and then y'all net worth is worth more than what y'all bring home. Y'all are the motherfuckers he was talking about, Democrats.
Hey, Tammy.
And then Kamala Chameleon Harris, the loser that won't claim defeat. She got up there talking about nothing. Because this is a woman that don't even know what kind of race she is. She don't know if she's Indian. She don't know if she's white. She don't know if she's black. She don't even know. She don't even know if she want to be Southern or Northern accent. Only whenever it see fit. That's why I call her Kamala Chameleon Harris. And then she sat up there and nobody cares about you, woman. You ran off props. You didn't deliver nothing. You would have been the worst motherfucking Indian, Hispanic, white, black woman, whatever race you want to follow. You'd have been the worst woman smoking. So that is the reason why you lost, heifer. Take your L. And you will not be over anything in California because those citizens and people and all the people that you wronged and had locked up and did nothing for is going to make sure of that. And then last but not least, Sleepy Joe. Y'all should have left that motherfucker asleep. That man got up there and said that he appointed the first black man to the Supreme Court. See, that's when the dementia kicked in.
He's pretty dumb.
It was Thurgood Marshall. And Thurgood Marshall was the first one.
Nice.
So, no. Y'all never should have had him speak. Never should have got him up there. Y'all fucked over this family's time. Y'all fucked over this family grievance. Just like y'all doing the US, you Democrats. Just like y'all fucking over the American people. Just like y'all have us where we got to play catch up because y'all kept us behind with all these illegals. The same way that y'all stepped on a man's funeral is the same way y'all stepping on our Americans. But we're here to tell you, we're not taking no shit from y'all. We're not going to be y'all weapon again. Y'all not going to use us anymore. Y'all not going to use us anymore. We're not going to allow it. We're not going to tolerate it. We American people have much more common sense than you motherfuckers think we got. We are not going to put up with it. I wish I could run for some political office. I will show you bastards where I stand.
Unbelievable. A lot of black people are waking up, I tell you. They aren't putting up with this crap anymore. All right, according to the police, you could get arrested now if you shout, send them back, when you're talking about illegals, I guess.
If I hear it one more time, I will lock you up. What for? Hey? What for? Public order.
You look ridiculous, mate. You look ridiculous.
Send them back. Send them back's not public order, bro.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't.
Send them back is not a public order.
No, it's not.
I'll breach the peace then.
No, it's not.
They're going to arrest them for saying, send them back to illegals.
Do you want to start having a proper argument and discussion?
Do you know what? I would love you for doing.
So do you know what breach of the peace is?
Yeah, I do.
Go on then.
No, a breach of the peace.
What is it?
Breach of the peace.
No.
Something that causes somebody alarm, harassment, or distress.
No, that's not right. A breach of the peace occurs when harm is done to a person. Harm is likely to be done to a person, or in the presence of that person, harm is.
Do you arrest them for saying Nazi and fascist?
Hang on, DP. Oh, that's very funny, officer.
Yeah.
Do you know why? I haven't watched you do that once with the left today. The ones that actually turned up being violent.
You haven't
the ones
been
that
with
brought
me anyway,
flares.
have you?
No, you
Good
haven't.
day, sir. Have a good
day.
day.
Exactly. Do you know what? Because I'm putting accountability on you. You don't fucking like it. You don't
swear
like
at me. I've not once sworn at you. I've been nothing
I'm allowed
but
to
polite
swear
to
at
you.
you. I'm allowed to swear at you.
Swear.
The law allows me to swear at you. So if you don't like it, take your uniform off. If you're offended by the F word, take your uniform off. Yeah, because now it's funny. Now it's funny because your power ain't working. Yeah? You thought I was going to be intimidated by your authority. Not to chance. Not to chance. Come on, stop threatening to lock people up when you can't. I'm allowed to swear at you. It's not against the law to swear at you.
Right, go away.
Okay?
Go away.
Because you know I'm right.
Go
You're
away.
telling me to go away because you know I'm right, yeah? No, but you know I'm right.
Go away.
I'm allowed to stand here. I'm literally allowed to stand here.
And now you get the riot gear on and it's like, get a bit more like, ooh, we know the crack, bro. He's right wing, please let him through before he gets hurt. Sure, this is where your logic is retarded. We're telling you he's on the right side and you're not letting him through. So you.
I hear you, John. I agree with that.
If you don't play into the trans agenda, you're cast out as a bully.
You see, the useful idiots, the leftists who are idealistically believing in the beauty of Soviet socialist or communist or whatever system, when they get disillusioned, they become the worst enemies. That's why my KGB instructors specifically made a point, never bother with leftists. Forget about these political prostitutes. Aim higher. They serve purpose only at the stage of destabilization of a nation. For example, your leftists in United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize a nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore. They know too much. Some of them, when they get disillusioned, when they see that Marxist-Leninists come to power, obviously they get offended. They think that they will come to power. That will never happen, of course. They will be lined up against the wall and shot. But they may turn into the most bitter enemies of Marxist-Leninists when they come to power. And that's what happened in Nicaragua. You remember most of these former Marxist-Leninists were either put to prison or one of them split and now he's working against Sandinistas. It's the same.
Oh, really? They'll arrest you, huh? Yeah, I know. You start shouting that kind of stuff out. I seen a video earlier today where they're trying to force all chicken wing places to be hammam or something like that. It's not just chicken. It's not just the bacon and that kind of stuff. They want the chicken to be hammam or whatever it is, whatever process in killing them, so that it's done to their religion.
Same pattern everywhere. The moment they serve their purpose, all these
So even the chicken wings are going after them.
useful idiots are used either be executed entirely, all the idealistically minded Marxists, or exiled or put in prisons, like in Cuba. Many former Marxists are in Cuba. In prison.
Never bother with leftists, the political prostitutes, the useful idiots. It's about as plain and simple as it could possibly be put. Political prostitutes. The left is the carrot on a stick.
I think they're waking up a little too late in Texas, because they've got enough in there that they keep giving birth. They're going to overtake it.
Party of their masters dangle this new problem in front of them, and they chase after it and defend it like rabid dogs. They're defending their own destruction. They are coming to defense for their own demise. They're clamoring for importing the third world so it can destroy them from the inside out. They don't even realize it. Supporting abortion, which is exterminating the next generation of people in the name of women's rights and freedom and convenience, because that's what your masters, your handlers labeled it as. You're so easily manipulatable. Letting liberals have power is literal cultural suicide.
Let me finish this. Yep, it seems like everyone on the left is sold out to the just giving them whatever they want on the left. It just irritates me to the end.
This is a photo taken in Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. It seems to show a doctor performing a medical
I didn't get any of these in necessary order. It's just kind of what order I downloaded them.
Procedure on Mr. Epstein's dining room table. We looked through about 15,000 records from the Epstein files to understand how Jeffrey Epstein cultivated and rewarded a small circle of doctors as a means of control over the women in his orbit. Mr. Epstein dictated when these women got plastic surgery, even when they went to the gynecologist. And he could also take medical care away. In some cases, you also see the doctors help Jeffrey Epstein maintain that control over these women's lives. Here's one really striking example. Jeffrey Epstein is flying back from his island in the Virgin Islands to New York with a young woman who has suffered a really serious injury. He reaches out to somebody named Eva Dubin, former girlfriend of his, and the founder of the Dubin Breast Center at Mount Sinai. And he says, this woman fell off the ATV and needs stitches in her forehead. Can you organize? She responds, okay, Jess Ting, plastic surgeon at Mount Sinai, is standing by. Call me as soon as you land. And then you see the next day from Jeffrey Epstein, Dr. Ting put 35 stitches in her head, laid out on the dining room table. And that brings us back to this photo, which appears to be of Dr. Ting. Dr. Ting declined comment on this photo. When we talked to medical experts, they said, there's no way you do this if you were putting the patient's needs first. If you were doing that, you just take her to the hospital. There's much more equipment, there's many more people, the risk of infection is lower. The only reason you do this is if you were putting somebody else's needs first. We see again and again doctors in these files bending or breaking the rules of the—
Good point, Paula. They wouldn't release there's lawsuits against a lot of Congress people, and they aren't releasing any of the list on that.
Their profession. And often they treated Epstein as if he was the real client. They shared patients' private information with Jeffrey Epstein.
So there's been payoffs by Congress people for sexual harassment, and they won't release the list. They voted, most of the members, he said 357, I didn't know the exact number, but there was a lot. So there's Republican and Democrat on that list. I bet you it's the whole Democrat list and about at least half the Republicans.
In this email, one of the women connected to Mr. Epstein expresses to Epstein that she's uncomfortable with this arrangement. And Epstein writes back to say, this is how it is. These doctors know that I'm paying. They want to keep me happy. And these doctors benefited from their relationship with Mr. Epstein. He gave Mount Sinai over $375,000 in donations, including gifts to Dr. Dubin's Breast Cancer Center and $50,000 to Dr. Ting's cancer research. Other doctors got high retainer fees and introductions to his celebrity friends. He even bought a few of them $900 Apple Watches. We reached out to all the doctors listed in our story. Dr. Ting and Dr. Dubin told us that they had never witnessed anything they believed to be criminal conduct by Mr. Epstein. Still, Dr. Ting told us that he deeply regrets his association with him. Mount Sinai Hospital told us that they formed a committee to investigate the hospital's ties to Mr. Epstein, and they would take any appropriate action that resulted. Reporters like me have been writing about the Epstein files for weeks, but there's still so much more to be learned. What was particularly chilling about this story was how Mr. Epstein was able to corrupt an institution, medicine, which was supposed to be different. It gives you a sense of what else might be out there as we continue to dig through these files.
Yeah, their job is to go after those that have caused issues in Congress like that. It's not to protect them, but they're protecting them. You're right.
You liberals unalive babies by using abortion as a form of birth control, but yet you call that having morals. You liberals consider yourself feminists until a woman is a Trump supporter, then you don't give a flying fuck about her well-being, or her life, but yet you consider that having morals. You liberals again call yourselves a bunch of feminists, but allow men in women's sports, locker rooms, restrooms, etc., yet you consider that having morals. You liberals again call yourselves a bunch of feminists during the free Palestine era, but now that the women of Iran are actually free from a terroristic regime, you don't give a fuck about them or their well-being, but you consider that having morals. You liberals consider peacefully protesting by looting, rioting, vandalizing cars and buildings, and robbing stores, all because shit doesn't go your way, but you call that having morals. President Trump was almost assassinated how many times? And instead of giving a fuck about it, y'all screamed, they missed. And y'all consider that having morals. You liberals cheered and applauded and rejoiced when Charlie Kirk was assassinated just for speaking words, yet y'all consider that having morals. I can keep going on and on and on. So sure, y'all do have morals, but your morals align more so with Satan than with God.
They
Now have
do.
the day you deserve.
They do align with Satan. A lot of them. Some are worshippers of Satan. All right, here's Chuck Schumer. He accidentally reveals the real reason he doesn't want voter ID. Watch this. He slips on this.
Until the SAVE Act passes. That means the president's asking for total gridlock. The SAVE Act will not pass because it is such a pernicious, nasty piece of legislation. The SAVE Act is Jim Crow 2.0.
Asking for voter ID and stop stuffing the ballot boxes, and oh yeah, we got to get the dead people off the voter rolls.
More than 20 million people would lose their right to vote. And
oh, bull crap. Where does he come up with that goddamn number?
And you would need to register either a passport or your original birth certificate. How
about stop registering illegals?
People have that. How many people have that? It would eliminate vote by mail. Tell that.
Yeah, unless you're like overseas or something like that. Can't just stuff all the ballots, you know.
To a senior citizen who's confined to their home in a wheelchair that they're going to lose their right to vote. And he would purge the voter rolls.
Voila, bingo. Yes, exactly. All these ones on the were Democrats, you know. The first Democrat was the who was it there? The first Democrat was the one that was for slavery there. Gotta think of
using a AI system set up by Musk
first
and
Democrat
Doge.
President.
So you could show up at the polling place this November and they'd say you're no longer on the rolls. They don't even notify you of it. Millions of people would be purged from the rolls because of this system that Musk
Republican Party started to end slavery. It was a split from the Whigs.
And Doge put in. You wouldn't be notified. You'd show up at the polling place and they'd say, sorry, Mr. Jones. Sorry, Miss Smith. You're not on the
emotional scare tactics bullcrap
rolls anymore. They don't even notify you. This is one of the nastiest pieces of legislation that I've ever seen.
Oh, they don't. How do you notify a dead person?
It is going back to the old South, where people were prohibited from voting and spreading it to every corner of America. It is Jim Crow 2.0. And when Trump says,
you really don't need a birth certificate, though. If you already had your birth certificate in order to get your license, you can use your license. It's a bunch of bullcrap. A real license, not the fake ones they're handing out with no name given on the license.
That he will not sign any legislation until Congress passes Doge. Mr. President, we ain't passing Doge.
Yep.
You are calling for grid.
You're right, Tammy. Millions of illegals and dead people will be removed. And that's where they cheat. You know what? at night when you're ahead a little bit and then voting stops and all of a sudden they go ahead. They went and use those names when they have to, like that.
Lock.
Hey, Kirk.
In the entire Congress.
And
And none of the bills that will
AOC is probably going to take a seat.
Help reduce the costs to people for prescription drugs, for electricity.
He's Trump's the only one that's lowered the prescription drugs. All right. England, another migrant named Mohammed charged with trying to rape a kid.
Yes, I'm a Muslim. I buy my rules.
Doesn't matter what you are.
This is my religion. No, never.
Bollocks.
No.
Bollocks.
No. This is our religion.
Bollocks.
My religion. My religion.
Are you in this country on a like you're not here permanently, are you? You're on a visa.
Yeah.
You're going fucking back and all. You ain't fucking on to our kids.
What do you mean?
Leave our kids alone. That's what I mean.
I'm taking this to my embassy. No, I'm taking.
Your embassy. You ain't fucking.
Take your fucking phone. See. Wait, what you doing? Fucking there. I knew this. I'm going to the police station.
He's telling him his religion says he can rape these white girls because they're non-Muslim, even if they're kids.
So I'm calling the embassy.
Call the embassy. I'm calling the embassy to make sure you go back.
You push me one more time, you're going on the phone.
I'm not pushing. You're pushing. See?
One more time.
You're pushing. See? You're pushing.
You're pushing.
No, he's pushing. See? He's pushing.
Yeah.
I'm mad. Can I go? Can I go?
When the police arrive?
No. I want to go by my.
When the police arrive?
Can I go by my legs, please?
Are the police here yet?
Can you call the police, please? Can you call the police, please? Yeah. Can you open the door, please? Can I go down? I'm not pushing. See, I'm not looking.
Put your fucking hands on me. Watch.
I'm gonna take the video. I'm gonna show it to the embassy.
And I'll fucking take your phone.
Oh, I'm gonna take. Either way, I already have the video. I'm gonna.
Your foot.
If you touch my phone one more time.
What are you gonna do? 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 Absolutely fucking nothing.
No. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to the embassy.
Go to the embassy. You're going back to your own country, mate.
I know.
Good.
I know. Can I go now?
No, you can't.
Can I go
When the police arrive.
No. No, you're hurting me. I'm bleeding.
You grabbed him round the throat.
No, I didn't.
There's enough witnesses here.
See, you hit me. You hit me.
Nobody touched you. It's been filmed the whole time.
No,
it's been filmed the whole time.
No, this guy's the victim, and they stopped him from raping a girl.
It's been filmed the whole time.
Can you give me my personal space?
It's now can't.
Yeah,
you lost that right.
Can you please?
Get that fucking phone.
It was a fucking random thing happened. So I don't know what you're doing. You started hitting me.
Nobody touched you. There's CCTV camera. The CCTV.
See?
You haven't taken the phone out of your hands.
See? Don't touch me, please.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Nothing.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna do nothing. Yeah, exactly.
What you want the door for? Mate, dude, you got zero chance to get through that door.
Dude, there's like 50 centimeters between three of you putting me in the corner.
Just for the camera, guys.
You're a strong, young, healthy guy, aren't you?
I'm a strong, young, healthy guy.
Yeah.
I have diabetes. Can I go, please? Can I go, please? No.
You're lying. It's on camera.
I'm not lying.
Shut your mouth.
It's
quite voice.
I'm with you. I'm coming.
He needs. No, it's aggressive, so he's putting in cuffs.
Listen.
Colin, do they really believe they can get away with raping young girls there because of their religion?
Before they have been aggressive, are you guys the ones that call us?
Yeah.
Supposedly, if they're non-Muslim, they can rape them, and it's totally okay with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, the ladies will talk to you because I'm still filming. So, yeah.
Tell them to go get their goats.
It's all on camera. Let me just explain something first. It's all on camera. There's CCTV up there. He actually lunged for the security's throat. We've been here 3
I bet you'll get a slap on the wrist.
times for him. He wanted to rape a 14-year-old up the anus because she'd still remain a virgin. Let's see who the embassy's in trouble with now then, eh? Leave our kids alone.
He was literally trying to rape a kid. Oh, unbelievable. Walk away. National Women's Day.
Devil's advocate here. I think I'm a Republican now. You liberals have literally pushed away any good person that was in your party. If you guys haven't seen that video that I just saw of those grown-ass men, those men beating down on that female journalist, they literally kicked her to the ground. Don't worry, by the time they see a
ICE agents and everyone should be there, even with the SAFE Act, Tammy. I think they would totally keep the election a lot closer to fair, Tammy. I agree with you.
judge, they'll identify as a woman so they can get out of being in prison with other men, actual men that's going to whoop their little I walked away from the Democratic cult years ago.
Tim, he might not have been on earlier. Stammer's passed this thing where now they're letting Muslims marry their cousins there in England.
When I realized, like, holy dude, y'all will just believe anything. And I went independent. But I think at this point, I think I've chosen a side. If any of you support that video, you're disgusting. If I knew how to stitch it, I would. I just don't know how yet. But at this point, y'all are done. You have proved it. You have proved that you are nothing but sore losers. All I'm saying is at this point, I see why Republicans are assholes or are becoming assholes. It is so hard not to let out all of your demons just by simply being around some of you. Seeing what you guys morally support. All are literally disgusting. Like just now, not even a year ago, you were praising death and laughing at the death of those little girls that died in that flood. Protesting over some black guy that kicked some pregnant woman. Trying to free a dictator just because Trump got it. Forget the fact that Kamala and Biden had a $25 million bounty on the guy's head, but Trump did it, so he's the bad guy. Not that any of you care that I walked over to the Republican side, but I will say, you guys are like you're losing any good person you had on your team. I'm watching them all walk away. And the last thing I'm going to say is that little ass joke of a man is lucky I wasn't there. Oh my God, he would have been picked. I would have made him pick his teeth out of my boots. I just can't wait till one of y'all with someone like me. I'm a martial artist. I just can't wait till one of y'all pick the day where you with people like me out in the street.
All right, this lady was preaching the word of the God on the sidewalk. Watch what happens.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, we can't be doing this, all right?
This is public streets. I go everywhere around the world with it. It's allowed on a public street. This is public. This is not private. You can't tell me it because I have freedom of speech. Oh, not that loud? You got the clubs blasting music and you're worried about this? Yes, you guys are kidding me.
Because you're drowning out what's in the club.
Driving out. Yeah, this is, listen, you guys can't fool me, okay? I do this, I've been doing this for 4 years. This is public street.
I'm asking.
I got freedom of speech, my friend. Yes. So I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna turn it down. Okay. It's super loud. They barely can hear me because of all this stuff going on. Okay. I'm just gonna move. I'm almost done, honestly. It's like really dead out here anyway. Okay. So yeah, but you can't tell me I can't be here because I know my rights. I know. But you can't tell me to turn around either because that's yeah. But it's okay. Listen, I'm almost done. All right. All right. Can I pray for you?
Absolutely.
Come on. See. Come on. Thank you. What's your name?
Shane.
Huh?
Shane.
Shane. I'm going to pray over you, okay? Can I pray for you too? Can I pray for you too? No? Okay. Shane.
Colin, I'm seeing polls that the Labor Party, if there was an election today, they'd finish like 5th. Hardly anyone left.
I thank you, Jesus, for Shane, God. I thank you for his life. I thank you for this job because it is a ministry, God, and he is helping so many people. I just pray, God, that you just give him eyes in the back of his head, everywhere. Surround him with your angels. Protect him, God. Go before him. Watch over him. I thank you for his life, God. I thank you that he does know you, Jesus. And I just pray, Father, that you just minister to him and give him power and strength in these last days because what's coming to this earth is going to be so great, so big, that he's going to need the strength of the Lord. So I bless him in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you. Hey, listen, I'm telling
All right, Colin, this one's going to steam you. I guess there's Muslims going around to regular British people who are eating and harassing them eating at all during Ramadan. It's not your religion, it's theirs. So they're trying to stop regular people from eating during Ramadan in England.
How come you're eating, boss? It's Ramadan, boss. Huh?
Yeah, sorry, brother.
It's Ramadan. This is no good. Ramadan. Muslim.
I know, brother. I'm sorry.
You're Muslim, yeah?
No.
You sure? I think so. You are.
No.
It's Ramadan now. No way, Ramun.
Romania is not
Muslim.
No.
You sure? Brother, please, yeah, because it's very big trouble, huh? Okay? Please, don't be eating in Ramadan, yeah? Please, because, really bad.
Yeah, it would only be a little bit better if the Labour Party won. I don't know.
What's the solution? If Muslim people are in the wrong and they are committing crimes, no one's above the law.
If the law of the land is Islamic,
We respect the law of the land.
What if it's not
If
Islamic?
it's not Islamic, then the law of the land and those who make it can go to hell, quite honestly, because Allah said in the Quran, in chapter 33, verse 1, He said, "O Prophet, fear Allah and do not obey the disbelievers and the hypocrites." Is David Cameron a Muslim or a disbeliever? Guys?
See, when they get in their country, see how they're all around her? How they overtake, and then they preach this crap?
I can't speak on Cameron,
so you can't obey him. So he can go to hell, as well as all of the other leaders.
Do you think I should go to hell?
Paula, they're trying to get rid of Christianity, and a lot of our leadership wants to get rid of Christianity. They want to end Christianity.
I'm a non-Muslim.
You're on your way to the hellfire because you're a non-Muslim. All non-Muslims are destined for the hellfire.
Unbelievable. All right, I'm going to get a little newer. Here's Katie Hopkins.
Show you these delightful ladies here. Many of them, I will have to say, have better hair than I do, which is rude. But they actually live in the nursing home just one door down. They receive letters to their nursing home telling them that they were not allowed to come out and wave as the protests went by.
They're not allowed to wave, or you're not supposed to show the British flag?
Otherwise, their ability to stay in that nursing home would be under review. Who runs the nursing home?
So if they wave the flag, they're going to kick them out of the nursing home. The old people. Kick them out of the nursing home.
Independent living flats. That's good correction, thank you. Independent living flats. And they were told they're not allowed to come out and support the protest, which is shocking. So I just wanted to cheer on these fine ladies to say
the protest that's going by is British people protesting against the invasion of their country, and so they're going to kick them out of the nursing homes if they help support the protest.
Thank you to them for their brilliance and their hair, and to let them know that the nation is cheering them on as well. Thank you, ladies, very much indeed. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Can you believe that? Unbelievable.
And now we have video confirmation that the missile that hit the school was Iranian. You see where it launched from? Just right down the fucking street. You know, where the military base is. You know, where the IRGC has missile launchers. I mean, for fuck's sake, we can see where it was shot from. This is deep in Iran. They shot a missile from their base and we jammed it. It then tailed over here and hit the school, which is what we already told you happened.
And they have the missile sites real close to the schools.
But you didn't want to believe that. No, you wanted to believe that for some reason we have the most accurate missiles on the fucking planet in human history, and we chose to hit a school. Like you guys tried to pretend this was a Tomahawk, a missile that is actually capable of turning down the street, and you thought we accidentally hit a school. No, the IRGC fucked up. They shot a missile, it went haywire, it hit the school, which again is exactly what we told you.
Yep.
You eat what you are.
I thought I'd throw that one in there for the fun of it.
A marriage between first cousins carries significant health issues.
But this is the one for you, Colin. It's about marriage there. Where was I? Oh, here we go.
A marriage between first cousins carries significant health issues, many of which aren't even knowable until post-birth. When practiced generation after generation, there is a significant multiplier effect. In addition, the real impacts for the openness of our society and women's rights in our country are also significant. After all, there are significant dynamics in sharing the same set of grandparents. On Friday, this government has a choice to let my bill go through.
Yeah, so if you marry your cousin, your grandparents, you'd have the same grandparents. You wouldn't have two sides to the family there. But Stammer seems to think this is good because Muslims want it.
To ban first cousin marriage to committee stage. Will the Prime Minister think again before instructing his whips to block this legislation?
Yeah. Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we've taken our position on that bill. Thank you.
That completes Prime Minister's questions.
He just won't even address it. Unbelievable. All right, here's a gang of invaders hospitalized this young Belgian kid. This got to irritate you. Enough against one? They get you down on the ground, they kick you in the head. Oh, they already did. It looks to me like he's not going to be okay. Was it about 5 against 1? That's the only time they attack you when they well outnumber you. And it won't be 1-on-1, that's for sure. It's about the Cubans. The Cubans are trying to get out their leaders there. They want to get rid of socialism. That's Cuba. I think they're going to drive their leadership out. I don't know. I hope so. This lady's talking about how she hates London. Here we go.
Know how much taxes I pay? Like, why am I living in a country where I hate being here? I hate it. Yeah. I hate London. I despise it. I'm not safe. I'm not protected. I'm the one who's constantly out there in the world. Oh, you're a monster. You're a Nazi. You're a racist. You're a xenophobe. Be kind. Fuck off. Be kind. Fuck off. I didn't live 41 years of my life working hard, dragging myself up from a working class family to get where I am, to pay this tax. And my thanks is to be name called, have my car bashed in, groped, mugged, outpriced from the housing market. Fuck off. That's how I feel. That's how a lot of people out there are feeling, which is why people are leaving. And 5 years, even 2 years ago, it wasn't this bad.
So wrong there, Colin, to your comment there. I'm caught up with all the comments yet. All right, the Democrats, we went and got all the dead people off the rolls in Michigan. They went back and put all their names back on the voter rolls. Something like 1 million of them, dead people in Michigan, are voting.
Respectfully, Representative Smith, the fact that there are, in fact, some errors that happen in the system. Every system has errors, and it doesn't mean that there are not safeguards in place. There are safeguards, and you as a clerk, having done many registrations previously, understand that there's a process that you go through. And you can ask NASA. There's no process that doesn't have some error inherent in the system.
Okay, thank you. And you're very right. When I was a clerk, there were lots of errors in the system. That's largely why I am here. I took off a dead voter in my township. And guess what? That dead voter was put back on. Not by me. That was done by the Secretary of State's office. So we need to do a lot.
Yeah, well, who was it? Stalin that said he doesn't care about getting the vote. He cares about controlling the people counting the votes.
Fixing here in our elections. When I was a clerk at Martin Township, there was a family member who at one point was registered at my in-laws' home. And that family member had died nearly 20 years prior. They were put on the rolls at 2020. They were mailed voter application ballots without the authorization to do that. That's the local clerk's job. So I went in there, removed her from the voting rolls because I know firsthand this family member is dead and deceased. Just this past election cycle, lo and behold, that person was put back on the voter rolls and has a card of the early voting location polling that I actually have and can produce. And that's a problem.
Yep. All right, here's some more on the UK gone completely mad.
Thanks, right?
What are you doing, sir?
So this person in the UK wants to withdraw money, but for some reason the left and the bank has an issue with taking his own money out of the bank because he's not liberal, I guess.
Bank, right?
What are you doing, sir?
I'm filming you and I'm recording this conversation. I'm coming to the bank to withdraw £2,500. Are you going to let me? I've got £11,500 in my account. Are you going to let me? Are you going to let me have the money or not? Hello, are you going to let me have the money or not? Huh?
Unfortunately, I can't remove that restriction that's on there.
You can't remove this restriction. You can't remove the restriction. Okay. After your
They're restricting his money because he might be conservative.
colleague, after your colleague told me I'm a liar, yeah? So your colleague told me I'm a liar yesterday. I've come in to withdraw £2,500, yeah?
Hey, Marianne!
And you're not going to let me have my money today. Is that right?
Right, you can still use your card.
I'm not. Answer the question, please. Yeah, I can still use my card. Are you going to let me withdraw £2,500 from my account today? Yes or no? In the branch.
And what is the £2,500 for, Mr. Jackson?
To buy a motorbike for my son.
Right, okay, so have you got any evidence of the motorbike?
No, I haven't got any evidence of a motorbike at all.
Why does he have to tell her anything?
No, I haven't got it, because I don't know what one I'm getting yet.
Okay, so if you don't know what you're getting, how do you know how much you need?
Because I've got a budget. I've got a budget of £2,500 for the motorbike. So that's why I want to withdraw £2,500 from my account today.
Right, yeah. So when you find the bike for your son, if you can show us some evidence of that.
So you're not. So I need to show you evidence. So I need to show you evidence. I'm doing it. Really?
You can't film me without my permission, sir. You cannot film me.
So you're not going to give me the money, no?
I'm going to hang up this immediately.
Absolute joke, this place. Absolute joke. You're an absolute joke, this place. Won't let me draw out my money. It's a fucking joke.
If he was donating it all to the Liberal Party, I'm sure he could get it for that. All right, here's about Omar.
Hey, sports fans. AJ Kern here. I recently received a letter from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services that I'd like to share with you in a moment. But first, a little background. In 2019, Ilhan Omar changed her birth year from 1981 to 1982 on her Minnesota State Legislative page, Wikipedia, and her U.S. congressional page. You can watch a video explaining why on ajkern.com. You can also watch another video of my visit to the Minnesota Secretary of State's office, where I learned that they did not verify Ilhan Omar's citizenship. Now, last year, I learned that you may request records such as naturalization records on refugees who are deceased. Now, Ilhan Omar's father, Nur Omar Mohammed, did pass away in 2020. So I did submit a request to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the federal agency that processes and maintains naturalization records. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, Ilhan Omar claims that she obtained citizenship when she was 17 years old, meaning that she's claiming she derived citizenship through her father. How it works is an adult refugee, they apply for citizenship, they go through the process, and when they naturalize, their minor children derive citizenship through that parent. On the form that I sent, I included the name her father used when he lived in Somalia. I also included a news article with a photo of her with her father, and this news article did verify that he did pass away in 2020. Whoever conducted the record search, they knew exactly whose records I was seeking. So it took a whole year. I did receive the letter on June 20th, and ironically, June 20th is World Refugee Day. Interesting. Your index search request was received in this office on June 27, 2022 regarding Nur Omar Mohammed. Yada, yada. We completed a thorough search for records. Unfortunately, we found no matching index reference. Our search included all variations of the subject's name, including Nur Saeed Elmi Mohammed, with the same results. There's no records. You can see the letter on ajkern.com. And I want to be clear about this.
Deport her!
The federal agency which processes and maintains
Kick her out of Congress, too.
naturalization records, they have no...
The problem was the way they've drawn the districts there. They'll get another Muslim in there.
Index reference. There's no record. He never naturalized.
Unless we deport about 500,000-600,000 from that area.
So it's impossible for Ilhan Omar to have derived citizenship through her father. It looks like Ilhan Omar is not a citizen. She just didn't count on the fact that someone might request her father's records. So it looks like Ilhan Omar has committed voter fraud and may have perjured herself when she ran for Congress. So this is a call to action. If you live in Minnesota, I'm asking you to go to ajkern.com, print out the letter, then go to the Hennepin County Attorney's Office and file a voter fraud complaint. You don't want to go by yourself? Good. Take a friend. Take your entire Senate District BPOU with you. You can all sign the complaint. Contact your Minnesota state legislators. They should also file complaints and take action. Contact your members of Congress. They should file a voter fraud complaint with the FBI. It does affect a federal election.
Hey, Gregory.
Additionally, your very own Michelle Fischbach sits on the Congressional Ethics Committee, and this is the committee that would initiate the removal of Ilhan Omar. Every citizen across this nation should be contacting their member of Congress to do whatever it takes to remove Ilhan Omar. All the elected officials took an oath to defend the Constitution. Now it's time for them to step up and do so. So we cannot allow a Somali nationalist to be in Congress writing and voting on laws that affect the American people. I don't know about you, but I'm not having it. Our founding fathers sacrificed way too much for this nation and for our freedom. I'm asking you to share this video. I'm asking you for your prayers. Please pray for our nation every day. And remember, Genesis 12:3. I'm AJ Kern, and I approve this message.
Amen. I'd like to see him get him out. All right, this lady's 100% right.
The greatest threat to the United States of America is not what people think. It's not a foreign enemy across the sea. It's not a terrorist sneaking across the border. It's not some radical group trying to destroy us from the outside or even the inside. Now, I don't want anyone to misconstrue anything that I just said, because all those things that I just mentioned are, in fact, serious threats, and they should be taken care of immediately. But those are not the greatest threat. Those are just symptoms of the greatest threat. In my opinion, the greatest threat to the United States of America, to our republic, is those that fund and support our enemies. Those who ignore those shouting death to America and who ignore those that openly plot against us. It's those great elite leaders, those that are in positions of power inside of our own borders, that call for us to have tolerance, acceptance, and empathy for the very people that push strange and wicked ideologies such as wokeness and sexual confusion, that poison our children with drugs and put fear in the hearts of many women. The greatest
They also put a lot of hate in our kids' minds.
threat is the party of no common sense, no reason, no love for the people they claim they represent. The party of no soul. The greatest threat to the United States of America is the Democratic Party. They will destroy this country from the inside out. And little by little, the country that I loved, that my parents love, that my children love, that you love, will be no more. The Democratic Party should be renamed The Enemies Within.
Oh, that's true. True. There's a little bit of pudding.
This right here, because I'm asking the same daggum question.
This is just my opinion.
I don't want this to happen. But what drives me, yes, I do. Do I? I don't know. Anyway, what drives me nuts is we can decapitate Iran, kill their leader, and we can't rub out two parasites on the street who just tried to kill a bunch of people. I mean, I have the feeling that you could have just shot them dead there. You don't know if they have another bomb on them. But what's going on in the cops' minds? If I shoot this guy, I'll get in trouble. You know, the only reason why these guys lived and nobody died is because their fallibility. Because they're retarded. You know, their bombs didn't go off. You know, I mean, 20 years ago, they would have been shot.
I mean, is Gutfield wrong? Nope. Is he wrong? No, he's not. So we can go over there and bomb the ever-loving bejesus out of them. But their sleeper cells here tried to bomb us, blow us to smithereens, and they're still living. They're still breathing. And they're going to get a trial. Make it make sense.
And I bet you they get out, too. Or, you know, probably, maybe they'll have bond, but in the past they've had no bond. Now, Italy, the lady who runs Italy there, she's doing a great job. She's made it so that you can't go in and buy stuff in these stores with the whole hijab stuff on, you know, with the face coverings and all that. Watch this. This is in Italy.
Ma con il volto coperto non si entra, c'è il cartello, il regolamento.
Dobbiamo solo chiedere l'assegno unico, non stiamo facendo niente di male.
Capisco, ma prima di entrare dovete scoprire il viso. Anche
sono le regole.
Signore, mi dispiace, ma con il volto coperto non si entra.
Security guard says, no, you can't come in here and buy like that. You can walk on the streets that way, but you can't buy anything in there. You never know who it is.
C'è il cartello, il regolamento.
Dobbiamo solo chiedere l'assegno unico, non stiamo facendo niente di male.
Capisco, ma prima di entrare dovete scoprire il viso. Anche
sono le regole.
Signore, mi dispiace.
Hey, Rhoda. Hey, Rod. Oh, where was I here? Okay. A little bit of Karen Kennedy talking about the mayor, Bondami, calling us white supremacists that did the bombing when it wasn't.
God, I'm offline for 2 days to kind of have some R&R and get away from the news for a little bit, because that shit gets crazy and the world literally just blows up. Well, at least they tried. As you are well aware, the two freaking ungrateful ass foreigners, the jihadis, because, you know, that's just the way that's happened, tried to throw an IED, improvised explosive device, into the crowd where Jacob Lang was protesting over the weekend against Sharia law, which, you know, we should all be protesting against that shit. This is a Christian nation. This is a Christian nation. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Straight up, dog. I'm tired of this. Tired of this shit. Anyway, these two little absolutely ungrateful ass fuckers tried to throw the freaking IED into the crowd. They would have literally blown people up. And then, oh yeah, to add insult to injury, the screamed Allahu Akbar or some shit that they normally just do.
Allah snack bar, the Durkas ones.
Because they're taught that from the time that they're little. So, you know, the dudes scream that shit. Bro, take your monkey ass back to the Middle East. Don't nobody want to deal with that shit. We're just trying to live here. You know, his parents, by the way, his parents live in a $2.5 million beautiful, like 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom home in Virginia. So they crossed state lines to go to New York to do what they attempted to do. And dude, it would have worked if they wouldn't have been caught. Stupid little ass, ungrateful ass. I am so sick of these ungrateful ass fucking anchor baby foreigners. Dude, you know, we rescue you from your shithole ass country. And I'm talking about from everywhere. Everywhere. Instead of coming here and being grateful that you get to grow up in a what? Bro, it's American citizens who would never be afforded that opportunity in life. And I've seen the pictures of the house. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. So the parents, one set is, these are two stupid ass dudes. One is from Turkey. One set of parents is from Afghanistan. So I don't know if these dudes were born here or not. But dude, why do we keep allowing this shit? These liberals keep allowing these people to get high-paying government jobs, to get embedded into government positions. I don't know, Ilhan Omar. And they just come here and tell you to your face, yeah, we're just gonna take over. And yeah, we're gonna do whatever we want. And then we're gonna excuse the aberrant evil behavior. And so, of course, the individual who is cosplaying as mayor, Zorhan Mamdani Muhammad, gets up to the podium because he's got to make a statement and says, oh, you know, this white supremacist protest, this white supremacist, oh, but, you know, I am, you know, on the side of guaranteeing the rights of free speech, even if I don't agree with it, blah, 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 blah. He has to say that. He has to say that because he's still got, you know, jihadi shit to do. So, you know, he can't just get up there and bust it all out, right? And he ain't even been in there 6 months. He, you know, he got some other stuff cooking underneath the stove there. So he can't just come out and say it. But to call Jake Lang a white supremacist, dude, that dude was locked up in solitary on no charges with no right to counsel, no basic fundamentals and basic things for living, and for a protest on January 6th. And protests, you know, ours lasted what, 1 day? January 6th was 1 day. George Floyd riots and looting, that shit lasted a half a year, from the end of May until the end of the freaking year. And I mean, federal buildings set on fire, Chaz and Chop, people murdered, ran over with cars, women raped all over the place, and it was during the coof. It was during the pandemic. And you got these dumbass doctors who came in and said, you know, if you're protesting George Floyd, then you can't catch the virus because the virus will literally pass you by. Yes.
How in hell does that work?
Doctors, PhDs, yes, those with medical degrees said this dumb shit and people believed it. Anyway, back to the jihadis. We can't.
Commies believed it.
We can't have these people over here no more. I have become almost an isolationist at this point because with the I don't call it a war necessarily, I call it spring cleaning. Iran has been threatening us for decades. Death to America. La, 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 la. Bro, you get sick of that shit. You get sick of the bully stealing your damn lunch money and slapping you upside your head while you sit there and starve for 3 hours because you don't have no lunch because the bully keeps taking it. You get to the point where you're like, okay, whatever. The sanctions, Scott Bessent and the Department of the Treasury, they've been doing sanctions on them. They've been blocking the oil that Iran has been selling to countries like China and blocking oil the sale of oil so that they can't keep profiting. Oh, because slim slacks ass, stank ass, Kenyan born Obama ain't in there to give them plane loads full of cash no more. Ooh, anyway. So now, you know, the economic part was a war against Iran to cripple them, but it affected the people. And that's how these protests in Iran started, because people are starving there. And it's the mullahs and shit with this backward ass fucking 7th century religion that they won't let go of, that has kept people subjugated. But don't nobody want to talk about that shit. Don't nobody want to talk about all the women that get raped and beaten to their socks by their husbands, while their husbands get 3 or 4 fucking wives. Y'all don't talk about that. You only want to talk about white supremacy. Shit on all of you. Anyway, that's what's been happening. It's ridiculous. It's going to be a power-packed week. Wait, you'll see.
It is. I think it is. All right, I think this happened in Bristol, and I think that's in England. It's a teenage girl got surrounded by a bunch of illegals. Unbelievable. All right, here's a attack. A British couple got attacked for they were eating pork.
Yeah, call by your mum, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
You're not allowed.
Yeah?
You're not allowed.
I'll fucking move your fucking phone out my face before I smack it one. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You are son of a bitch. You are, look at you. You eat pork and you fucking look like pork. Yeah. You fucking pig. You fucking pussy. Yeah. This is racist. Yeah. How's that racist? I call you a pork bastard. I didn't call you a white bastard. Based on religion. Oh, really? Really? Yes. Really? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Pull the fence, please, then. I want to see what this motherfucker's gonna do. Yeah. Your mom's a gangster, you son of a bitch. Fuck off. Yeah, fuck you. Fucking stupid bitch. This ain't your country.
Yeah, he's gonna spit on him. Yeah, I don't think we can coexist. You know, their culture's too different.
You don't even try. You don't even try to do that.
Delete your fucking shit and move it then.
Don't touch.
Oh, I'd have a weapon. I guarantee you, I'd have a weapon. No doubt about it. If it was me.
The Arizona Republican Party filed a lawsuit against Secretary of State Adrian Fontes after discovering from 500,000 to 1.3 million illegal voters on the state's voter rolls. The Gateway Pundit reports the lawsuit highlights outrageous voter registration rates, with some counties exceeding 100% of eligible voters, including deceased individuals and those who have moved away. The lawsuit states this: our findings reveal a staggering number of counties with more registered voters than eligible citizens. This is a clear indication of a system in disarray. We are holding Adrian Fontes accountable to ensure
a system of cheating,
ensure fair and credible elections in Arizona.
All right, here's Tulsi Gabbard going after this stuff.
And lastly, sir, as you know, declassification and rooting out weaponization, politicization of the intelligence community is a huge priority. You know more than anyone else the very dangerous and negative consequences of that. I've got a long list of things that we're investigating. We have the best of the best going after this. Election integrity being one of them. We have evidence of how these electronic voting systems have been vulnerable to hackers for a very long time and vulnerable to exploitation to manipulate the results of the votes being cast, which further drives forward your mandate to bring about paper ballots across the country so that voters can have faith in the integrity of our elections.
They certainly do cheat, and they're falling on the sword to try to keep it up. All right, this store staff had an opportunity to save this girl. Can't go This is actually part one to the one where she got stomped outside later. They chased her outside even. It was that bad. All right. Kelly Lepper, whatever it is, the one from Georgia there, was about... Here, I'll let it play.
I'm here in San Diego, standing at an address that is registered to 14 businesses that took $2 million in pandemic-era loans. Those loans haven't been paid back, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Today, the SBA is announcing we're suspending 112,000 California borrowers who took potentially upwards of $9 billion.
That was in Tennessee, Kurt? That happened in Tennessee. Wow, I thought it was England. Oh.
To continue to work with our federal partners to ensure accountability for COVID-era fraud that the Biden administration tried to sweep under the rug. And just like Minnesota, California is another state whose socialist welfare policies have invited fraud. Well, the buck stops here. We're not looking the other way. We're prosecuting. There's going to be more to come.
I didn't know that was in Tennessee. Thanks for the info there, Kurt. Thanks for the info. Well, let's go to... How much time we still got left? I'm going to start doing today's stuff that came in. I downloaded today. This is about Stammer in England here and free speech.
So today, Keir Starmer and the Labour government are introducing a dangerous and dogmatic new definition of anti-Muslim hostility.
So if you say anything against the religion of Muslims, you're going to go to jail.
Which will soon be rolled out across all of our taxpayer-funded institutions, like our schools, universities, local government, the NHS and more. It will become a central part of our national life. Contrary to what Keir Starmer tells you, it will directly erode our free speech, our free expression, by dramatically limiting what we can say about the role of Islam in British and Western life. We don't need this definition. We already have laws that prohibit somebody from insulting somebody else based on their race or their religious identity. What this definition will do is create a new layer of special protections for Muslims that will not be available for other groups. And what that will do is fuel a grievance politics, a sense of victimization within Muslim communities, that any time somebody dares to challenge Islam, including its problematic views towards women and girls, its problematic view of the separation of the church and the state, its problematic views towards liberalism, sexual minorities, free speech, blasphemy, perhaps even the grooming gangs, those people will be accused of engaging in anti-Muslim hostility and they will be shut down. The definition itself says that anti-Muslim hostility is prejudicial stereotyping. In other words, if you discuss problems or challenges that are part of Islam and are prominent within Muslim communities, you might be accused of prejudicial stereotyping and shut down. And to entrench all of this, Keir Starmer and the Labour government are also introducing a new role, a SAR for anti-Muslim hostility, somebody whose only job now will be to hunt out what they perceive to be anti-Muslim hostility. Interestingly, we don't have a SAR for countering Islamism, do we? And I do wonder, will that person be looking at why a school teacher in Batley is still in hiding? Somebody whose life was completely destroyed after they happened to exercise their free speech and ask some difficult questions about the role of Islam in the West. These are all things that need to be put on the table, but increasingly in modern Britain, in England. And remember, Macaulay once said, the history of England is a history of liberty. These things are being taken off the table. These topics are now considered taboo among a ruling class that is introducing these things to pander to its own Muslim voters. This is not Britain, this is not England, this is not freedom, this is not liberty. What we need to do with a reform government or a reform-led government, the very first thing that needs to happen is this definition needs to be torn up. We need to get back to what our country is all about, free speech and free expression and individual liberty, not this constant attempt to control and contain what people can and cannot say. What is misinformation and what is disinformation? We need to be able to speak freely because as far as I'm concerned, and as far as millions of ordinary Brits are concerned, we still live in a free country, or at least we thought we did. Thanks for listening. Come join us at mattgoodwin.org. Bye-bye.
Not anymore, you don't. Not if they have their way. Massive paid operators. The protesters are paid. Watch.
Who are these groups? Who's funding them? Let's dive in. Let's investigate. Let's start with this one. One of the lead organizers in almost all of these protests, and you can see their logo at the bottom of those posters, is the Answer Coalition. Their mission, act now to stop war and end racism. Now, the Answer Coalition was founded 3 days.
It's the same ones that protest everything to try to take down the country.
After 9/11. In 2024, the House committee accused the organization of having well-documented connections to Hamas and Iran.
What they want is more Islam to come into the country.
And how have they mobilized into action? Well, they protested the killing of Soleimani.
Because they want to get rid of Christianity.
In Iran, they protested in support of Palestine in 2023. And they protested the capture of Nicolas Maduro. Here's another. One of those little symbols and one of those groups Gregory. At the bottom of that poster, at the background of almost all of these protests. That's the National Iranian American Council mission. It's dedicating to giving a voice to the Iranian American community in civic life. It was founded in 2002. And in 2020, it was accused of being an unregistered foreign agent with ties to the Iranian regime. They have consistently protested in support of Iran. Now, with that, those two groups comes one of the biggest groups, always there when it comes to these protests, the People's Forum, to build unity across lines of division at home and abroad, founded in 2017, focused on, and this is key because I want you to think about this as in the background of all these protests, anti-imperialism and anti-capitalism. They have organized in support of Palestinians. They have organized to protest Columbia students who were expelled from that university and put into the immigration process. And of course, they protested as well.
Means deporting people, and they protested against that.
Against the capture of Nicolas Maduro. One more, let's take a look at Code Pink. Of course, you know Code Pink. They show up, feminist grassroots, craziness in the hallways of Congress. They were co-founded by Jody Evans and Neville Roy Singham. Remember that name for just a moment. Hold it, Neville Roy Singham. We're going to talk about him more in just a few minutes. Now, they have helped coordinate the National Day of Action after the killing of Soleimani, and they also supported and marched in support of Palestine. Now, here it is. Who is Neville Roy Singham? Now, we've already mentioned he's married to the co-founder of Code Pink, Jody Evans. But the New York Times wrote, since 2017, about a quarter of Code Pink's donations, more than 1.4 million, have come from two groups linked to Mr. Singham. And House Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith has said, on December 21st of 2021, the People's Forum posted on X admitted to receiving funding from Neville Roy Singham, a former United States technology mogul who now resides in Shanghai and is closely aligned with the Chinese Communist Party. So hold it right there for one moment. So Neville Roy Singham, connected to the Chinese Communist Party, has funded multiple groups we just showed you up on these walls. He funded the People's Forum. He funded Code Pink. There's also reporting that he helped fund the Answer Coalition. So Neville Roy Singham, multiple groups. Here, the background, the money. In 1974, he was the subject of an investigation. Ties to groups engaged in activities inimical to the United States interest. He worked as a consultant for a Chinese multinational corporation and technology company. And as it was mentioned, he currently lives in Shanghai. So whether it's anti-ICE, Free Palestine, now pro-Iran protests, it's the same networks, the same branding, and in many of these cases, the same organizer and funding. They're mobile, fast, well-funded, and they consistently side with America's adversaries. The question isn't whether people can protest, but it's whether or not that protest is organic, whether or not it's real, or if there's a man behind the curtain. Now, Fox News digital senior editor of investigations, Azra Namani, joined.
Yep. She's from Iran herself, actually. All right. If you care about Scotland, you should care about the women and children there.
So now it is for the big reveal. This is specific to Scotland, and there were 5 hotels in Scotland. There was a Freedom of Information Act request that was sent to the police. And the problem is that the police did not want to give the information in regarding the illegal immigrants that are in these hotels because they are afraid of racial unrest and it being heightened. Now, the next question that we have to ask ourselves, if they're not wanting to reveal, and they're worried about civil unrest, racial unrest, how many crimes are being committed and how many call-outs are happening that the police are having to be involved in? Now, we're talking anything from knife, rape, sexual, any kind of crime. What I have to say is, though, that from the Freedom of Information Act, it was actually said that they were concerned about releasing it because of the protests, because apparently in Scotland there have been quite a lot of protests, that they've apportioned the crime rate to the protests and people protesting rather than the call-outs for the illegal immigrants.
So, first of all, there are 860 illegal migrants. So, we talk about 860 migrants. He was jailed for 9 years, okay, for a vicious rape of a woman in Falkirk.
Yep. All right. The Somali migrant admitted in 2015 under a bummer.
Attorney General, I want to bring you to this illegal immigrant from Somalia that has now been charged with multiple counts of rape in Minnesota, including a minor. What can you share about this investigation? You know, they have said that this administration is just trying to demonize the Somalian community, but we got a criminal here.
Okay, Lawrence, this guy came into our country in 2015 under Barack Obama. He let him in legally, just like all the Afghanistans he's been letting in. He let him in legally in 2015. He committed a rape of a child, a horrific rape in 2017. Then he committed another rape in 2024. He's arrested in state court, lives in the Minneapolis area the entire time. Last name Muhammad, he's 28 years old. He's convicted in state court of both rapes. They let him walk out the door on probation. Double rapist. Pled to him, walked out the door. Then under our administration, he commits a new rape. He is arrested. He is in federal custody. We are going back in time now, charging him again with kidnapping and the rape of the 2017 case. And I can tell you there are more charges to come. And again, this is good police work. Mm-hmm. They took his DNA, ran his DNA through databases for all these unsolved rapes. So let's wait and see how many charges come after that. That should frighten everyone in this country, Ainsley.
Yes. I mean, this is disgusting. Raping a minor. And I'm reading on this information. Victim 1, victim 2, victim 3, a little girl. How are y'all able to get him? You said under with federal charges, because the state court, you said, let him walk out the door.
Yeah. So we have concurrent jurisdiction in many places, and that's such a blessing now that we're finding out that all of these criminals around the country were not properly prosecuted by liberal state courts. So we were able to charge him federally with a new case. And now his DNA is being run through databases throughout our country. So again, he's innocent until proven guilty of the new one. But he had entered pleas on the last one. The last two, one involved a 15-year-old girl. The second one, he held a woman in a hotel room for days and days and days and raped her repeatedly. Disgusting.
I mean, this is obviously abhorrent. This is why we have to find out what's going on with legal immigration in our country.
Find out? Send them all out. Send them all out. All right, this is a little Iranian girl who was sold by her brothers to a 40-year-old man.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنا كان عمري 10 سنوات. بعدين تقدم لي أحد الأشخاص فإخواني وافقوا عليه. دفع لهم 700,000 وافقوا عليه. فزوجوني وأنا لسه في المدرسة يعني أنا صغيرة ما كنت.
I can remember $700,000 of their dollars is worth about 52 cents in our money.
الزواج أنا كان أشتي أكمل تعليمي أدرس أكون حاجة في المستقبل. أكيد أنا كنت رافضة يعني الزواج لأن أنا أول شيء ما كنتش داري أعيش الزواج ويعني وزي ما ذكرت سابقا كان حلمي إن أنا أكمل تعليمي وما كنتش يعني أشتي هذا الزواج بالذات لأنه إنسان كبير جدا يعني كان عمري 10 سنين وهو 40 سنة.
Can you believe that? 10 years old sold to a 40-year-old for 52 cents, the equivalence of. All right, Christians are starting to fight back against the Muslims in Texas. Here we go.
Come here! Come cross! That's fine, come cross! You're scared, it's fine. Hey, get your scared crowd to drag you back, come on! You're scared and it's fine. You're scared and it's fine. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on, Hassan Piker.
Sir, why are you out here demonstrating today?
Because Islam does not belong in my country. My dad fought these people in Iraq.
How do we stop Islamification in America?
End illegal immigration. That is how they are getting in. Americans are willing to work. They work for cheaper, so companies hire them instead.
What would you say to President Donald Trump if you could say something to him right now?
If we do not end legal immigration, America as we know it will cease to exist in a matter of decades.
Would you like to explain what happened over there?
The police they're upset that we're here.
you know, and they're over there waving flags that aren't from this country, and they want us to do something. So, but we're not going to, because we're better than that.
What do you want to come from this?
I want it to be highlighted. I want more Americans and more Christians to see what's going on before it's too late and we end up like Europe.
You don't end up like Europe for sure. Here's Bill O'Reilly just exposed a woman who falsely.
Same woman. Quote, her implication of Trump makes little sense since his friendship with Epstein began later in that decade. Cherry on top, she faced criminal charges for fraud, theft, and exploitation of an elderly person. Okay.
Stephen Miller, who is set to be Trump's chief of staff, just sent out a letter this week to 249 sanctuary city officials, telling them basically back out now and lawyer up. Let me explain a little bit further. According to federal law, it is a crime to interfere with the Department of Homeland Security. Federal law also prohibits state or local officials communicating against ICE. So if ICE asks you to turn someone in, or they say, hey, we know there is a person or a group of people in your custody, please turn them over, and that official doesn't answer or doesn't comply, that is a federal crime. To conceal, harbor, or shield an illegal immigrant is also a federal crime. It's a federal crime under conspiracy laws for people that work under elected officials to also put in these sanctuary policies. So they will also be held responsible. And according to federal law, this is the ice on the cake, victims of crimes committed by an illegal immigrant in a sanctuary city, their family will federally be able to sue for emotional damages 3 times than what the damages are worth directly against the official in charge, state or locally, that implemented those sanctuary policies. So people like...
Amen. I'd imagine suing California and New York and Illinois.
Gavin Newsom, Michelle Wu, the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of Denver. Yet y'all got a lawyer up because they're coming for you, and it's not going to be pretty. You got like 5 felonies under your belt as of today. So
they better get moving.
Oops. Should have thought about that when you started putting people who aren't from here before the people that are from here. Just a thought. But that's a democratic way, right? I mean, $1 billion to Africa, yet people in North Carolina are still in tents. Comes with the territory.
So, and they said it was all a conspiracy theory about over 10,000 illegals.
We discovered 10,000 people using the exact Social Security number. See if this one rings true. You take an illegal.
10,000 illegals using the same Social Security number. I'm sure it's a lot more than that.
You bring them in. They sign a piece of paper promising to pay taxes. What they get is a Social Security number. So the employers can take out the taxes. Put a pin in that. Here's what they do. In cities like this, let's think of a chicken processor. They will bring in hundreds of illegals. They will spread them out across all of these plants and factories, giving them jobs. They're all using the same Social Security number. The IRS unconnected our names from the Social Security number. Now when you look it up, it just pings to see if there's an employer. If there is, it says it's good, it validates it. Why do they do that? Because all of these factories are giving them Social Security numbers. The government turns its back on it. As soon as you have a Social Security number and you go over to motor voter, pass the driver's test, right? You get a driver's license.
Here they just give you a no-name given licenses without any test. Because they can't, if you can't read English, we'll just pass you.
So look, you got a social, you must be a citizen. That's how they pack the rolls. By the way, those guys don't pay taxes anyway. It's taken out by companies. Our government's been sitting on $1.7 trillion slush fund that one fund has still in it to this day. So if you want to know where the dark money comes from. By the way, that's what, $100 million in a month in interest. I could go on. I now understand this is why they tried to kill us. And it's not stuff I wanted to know. It's not stuff I wanted to know about my country. It's not stuff I believed. But we have a uniparty. We don't have multiple parties. Everybody's benefited from this at one time or another.
I hope so, Kurt. Let me finish this. I hope so. I hope the crap is about to hit the fan. I tell you, it's pretty bad. This is how bad of job this Massachusetts governor is doing. Watch this.
Massachusetts, how do you sleep at night with Maura Healey at the helm? Listen to this tweet. Let's be real. Healey's own deputy was running a cocaine operation out of a government building while on the job. Half her cabinet has quit. $364 million in SNAP fraud without a care in the world. Billions in illegal immigrant benefits. Highest electric bills in the country. She's burning this state to the ground. Can anybody dispute any of that without blaming Donald Trump? No, they can't.
Yep. Okay, Floridians are packing the Indian River County zoning meeting.
15 minutes prior to the meeting starting, the video you're watching, we were there about 20 minutes early, and then boom, everybody came in, and there were so many people there.
It's about letting Muslims come in.
That it overflowed into the hallway and then outside the facility, because nobody wants to have an epic city, one of these large facilities with Muslims.
Not just letting individual Muslims move in, have their own city like. That's the way they do it.
Muslims come in, they open a mosque, they open schools, they make little civic centers. They start with the nucleus, and then they start.
Where's all the money for all this coming from?
To spread out, and they eventually take over a town. They take over the town government. Before you know it, they're taking over a city, and then you take over a state. You could look at Dearborn. You could look at New York City. You could look at Minnesota. This stuff was happening in Texas. People were going up in arms, and now it's happening in Florida. There is a place called Epic Estates. This guy here tried to downplay it. But keep in mind that before we started the meeting tonight, they elected the chairman of the zoning as a guy named Dr. Day, who is a Democrat. So you tell me what's going on here.
Epic Estates LLC, through several LLCs, owns several large tracts of properties west of I-95 in Indian River County. They've had 3 pre-application meetings about doing what's called an affidavit of exemption. It's a rural subdivision where they can create 10-acre lots. 2 out of those 3, there are access issues. 1 might be viable. They have not filed any formal applications with the county. There's also been rumors about a new town. None of that has come to fruition. So Epic Estates exists. They are a landowner in the county. We have had preliminary talks about this affidavit of exemptions, which again creates 10-acre lots, which is allowed in the A2.
So they had 3 pre-application meetings. Clearly, there is planning. Now, what these guys don't understand, because they haven't been in the game long enough, is that what happens is that they will take a 10-acre property and they will make it a mosque, or they will make it a school. And then they'll take another 10-acre property and they'll make it into something else. And it may not all be together and next to each other. There may be properties that they don't own in between. But people will get so frustrated with the 5-time.
They drive you out of those areas.
Call to prayer, so frustrated with seeing people in burqas and all the different other Muslim stuff that goes on that nobody wants. Finally, they'll just sell their property. That's the plan. Squeeze them out, push them out. Do never trust a zoning committee. Never. Somebody is always making money. I remember when I was in New York, they did the same thing. the zoning department. They wound up putting an auction. They got together with local government. They put up an auction for a piece of property. They didn't want anybody to buy this property. It was a couple of houses down from me. It was 12 acres. They wound up having their special meeting. Nobody showed up. They wound up buying the property and turned it into Section 8. So trust me when I tell you, I've been around long enough.
Section 8, so the taxpayers pay for it.
I know what the Muslim plan is. They got tons of LLCs. They look shady. He said it himself about all the LLCs. These guys are covering over because they saw the town was out tonight and they knew that people were going to hold their feet to the fire. We showed up tonight. We had a victory. Our victory was you're not going to build this crap in our backyard. And we are completely prepared. We understand we can't make this a religious thing. We'll make it a zoning thing. And you know what comes down to? These people who try to push this through, their names will be tarnished for the rest of their life. Their families will be blacklisted. They'll never see the light of day in terms of positivity ever again for the rest of their lives. And people showed up tonight and they took it. They said, oh, it's not on the agenda. My ass. It's right on the tip of your tongue. 3 pre-meetings. Oh, and there's just one parcel for 10 acres, which, you know, it could be used for something, as if you can't put a mosque on there, as if you can't put a school in there. We're not stupid. And we're going to be on you like white on rice. Congratulations to the people of Indian River County tonight for showing up in large numbers.
And the reason why they're moving to Texas and Florida and stuff like that with the Muslims is to take over the voting.
We ain't going away.
It's really worse than you think. Sorry, my eyes itching here. It's from Tommy Robinson.
Illegal immigration is a well-orchestrated business for the orchestrators to make.
Oh, this is the leader from the Greek talking about this.
Illegal immigration is a well-orchestrated business for the orchestrators to make a fortune and to Islamize Europe. You have filled our countries with illegal migrants with the blessing of Germany and France. We pay Islam that hates us out of our savings to turn our cities into ghettos, to rape and to murder before our eyes in the name of Allah. We are filled with Muhammad and Mahmoud in a Europe that has become unrecognizable. There are solutions. Strengthen by all means the countries that are the first entry points, such as Greece, Italy, and Spain. Those who enter European territory illegally, they should receive no benefits. They should receive no asylum. They should be arrested. They should have their mobile phones confiscated. They should be taken to uninhabited islands, and then they should be deported to their country or countries outside of the European Unions. Stop subsidizing their accommodation and subsidize their deportation. Our guiding light ought to be the policies of Hungary and of and Poland. It's quite clear that those who violate our borders are entering their unwanted guests. And
the globalists want this. They have to take on all the countries because they want socialism worldwide, one world government.
They're destroying our countries. So begin mass deportations immediately. Money exists. Airports exist. Detention centers are there. Kick them out before Europe dies. We want our countries, our identity, and our values. And if you so-called sensitive socialists, well, why don't you look at yourselves? Because you are the biggest racists against Europe.
Yep, she's exactly right. Okay, for the last 6 months, they've pulled out a plan that all new SNAP benefit worker people have to have some work requirements. 59,000, almost 60,000 people went off the SNAP benefits, but they had to work at all, even 20 hours a week.
Well, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, they have got 59,500 people who've lost their federal food assistance, like their SNAP benefits, where they can apply and get a debit card and go pay for their food. Now, why have they lost their federal food assistance? And this is just in the last 6 months this has happened. Over 59,000 people in just 6 months because they put work requirements on it. People say, oh no, I'm not going to work. If I got to work for it, I'll just do without, because there ain't no way I'm going to go to work. Now, I'm telling you, I think we'll put work requirements on everything. I mean, you either ought to be in a job training program, you ought to be helping with daycares for other people who are going to work. I mean, whenever you put work requirements of welfare to work, I'm telling you, it drastically reduces the burden on the taxpayer.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea for all the states, if you ask me. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. So let's see, 15 minutes. Let's see if I can squeeze another one, and that's 125. Can I play this?
In Southern California, the feds were moving in to arrest a man on charges of supporting the terror group ISIS when they found what appears to be a homemade bomb in his home in Long Beach. Marianne Rafferty, live in Los Angeles with more on that story. Marianne.
Yeah, good afternoon, John. A shocking discovery as federal investigators were arresting a suspected ISIS operative, a homemade explosive device found inside his Long Beach, California home. According to federal authorities, the bomb was found during the arrest of a man accused of sending 12 electronic payments to ISIS and traveling overseas to fight for the terrorist group. FBI investigators say the suspect, Mark Lorenzo Villanueva, is charged with providing material support to a foreign terrorist organization. Villanueva is also accused of posting anti-America messages online, including an especially chilling one, honor to fight and die for our faith. Former acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey telling Fox News, with 4 years of open borders before President Trump took office, federal agents are on the lookout for incidents like this one.
We know we had millions and millions of people not knowing what their motivations were, if they were here to harm us, how they were here to harm us, and they're all here and could harm us right now.
Now, the complaint against Villanueva includes an exchange with another ISIS fighter, which reads in part, Villanueva says, "My dear brother, are you a supporter of the Islamic State?" The unidentified suspect says, "Yes, I was an ISIS fighter. I was captured at 17 and released at the age of 30. Federal agents say their investigation unveiled social media messages and communications records, which all led to this arrest. And we'll be following this developing story and bring you any new details.
Amen on that. Okay, this woman grew up as a Muslim and speaks out against it now.
Listen very carefully to the verse that is being recited here.
I stand before you as the first Muslim mayor in our city's history, and this year as the first Jummah that I have attended in that new position.
Oh, the killing of the infidels by the sword.
For context, I grew up Muslim. I studied the Quran and Islam for years. I wore a hijab on my head. And the verse that you just heard is from the Quran. It's Surah 9, verse 5. And it's often referred to by many scholars as the verse of the sword. I mean, this guy kind of has no shame. On January 2nd, 2026, 16 different landmarks across the state of New York were illuminated in green to mark the launch of Muslim American Heritage Month. One of those sites being the One World Trade Center. The green lighting was chosen because green is typically associated with the religion of Islam. For some people, especially the families that were affected by 9/11, that symbolism felt like a slap in the face. Felt like it was a slap in the face to me. And you want to know where I was during 9/11? I was in a Muslim private school with a hijab on my head, and we had to evacuate because people were calling the school and threatening to you know what. I can't even imagine what the families of the victims of 9/11 must have felt when they walked by the One World Trade Center and it was lit up green for the launch of Muslim American Heritage Month. What? And now we see a video circulating online of the mayor's first Jumu'ah prayer as mayor, and this verse is recited? What's going on? As an Arabic speaker who can read Arabic, I can confirm to you that that is indeed what that verse translates to. Other passages that are often discussed alongside this one is Surah 9, verse 29. This verse speaks about fighting opposing groups until they submit to a political authority and pay a tax that's called the jizya. And the jizya is meant to subdue and humiliate them. All of this, of course, raises a much larger question about symbolism, context, and how historical religious texts are viewed in modern political spaces. Let's just be honest for a second. If any other religion recited wartime scripture while a politician was present, would people stay silent about it? Honestly.
Yep. You know, I found with a lot of the leftists that have walked away, they really understand how bad the other side is, the leftists. And so a lot of these former Muslims really know exactly how sick it is. And that. Here's Karen Kennedy again. I got another one from her talking about the SAVE Act and the leadership of Thune and that.
It is absolutely vital that the Save America Act gets passed. There's a lot of dust up going on about it right now. I continually see Chuck Schumer talking about this is Jim Crow 2.0. I really have had it with old white liberal kooks, baby boomer ass bullshitters like Chuck Schumer, talking about how there is some injustice against Black people. Stop using me in your failure. Chuck Schumer, you're a failure. You're a failure. You're all failures. We watched you the last 4 years replace Black people with illegal aliens. Do you think we have forgotten that shit? Let me tell you, there's a few moving parts and we got to pay attention, stay frosty, and do what, dude, at this particular point in time, follow the president's lead. I mean, clearly he has answers. You don't. You're an armchair quarterback. Stop listening to bullshit ass podcasters who are freaking the fuck out and telling you over here one day, oh, this is this. Oh my God, it's that country did this and shut up. Just keep on the straight and narrow. Okay. Now, passing the Save America Act is absolutely vital. It is absolutely vital, and it must be done before the freaking midterms. President Trump is hammering this because it must be done. These bastards cheat like it ain't no tomorrow because they are losing their jobs. So thus, they're losing their minds. They don't have any winning policies. I reiterate, they replaced American citizens with illegal aliens the past 4 years. They gave them maximum federal benefits. We have whistleblowers who have testified to this. Spare me the gaslighting, okay? If you see something like President Trump says, you know, I'm going to endorse John Cornyn, for example. I know. Yep, I know. You just passed out. Pick your face up off the floor. Let me tell you something. John Cornyn is already in the Senate. Okay? There are deals being made and there are things going on that we do not know about. I don't like John Cornyn. He is a fucking rhino. He is useless. He has voted with Democrats. I'm sick of his old ass too. Ancient alien ass bastard. But we need the Save America Act passed. Period. End of story. Whatever needs to be done to get that accomplished needs to be done. Now, let me tell you this also. Ken Paxton, our fighter, our true MAGA warrior, has already said, look, if I need to step aside for a little bit and maybe do something different to still help out, you know, pause for the cause, I'm going to go ahead and do that because we got to get the Save America Act passed. That's some bullshit, and that is true leadership. And God bless you and thank you, Ken Paxton. I'm telling you, Ken Paxton is going to continue to play a vital role in this country's preservation and moving quickly into the golden age. Democrats don't win this. They don't have a winning.
John and Tammy, you live in Texas. What's your thoughts on Paxton? You know, the left really hates him, and there's some rhinos that really hate him.
strategy. They haven't done shit for us. They have shown us. Your words don't matter. Your words don't matter. These shit ass politicians in Colorado who are now screeching about everything that they say Trump did. Motherfuckers, I live here. I know you ain't shit. Brittany Pedersen, Jason Crow. I talk to your constituents in Aurora. You don't never even go there to talk to them. They don't even know who you are. You only go on the side of the Aurora Reservoir where the $800,000 and $1 million houses are. See, there's two sides to Aurora too. Michael Bennett, you ain't never done shit for me. Oh, don't even get me started on Diana DeGette's old raggedy ass. You didn't do nothing for me. But see, they're John Hickenlooper, what the fuck? Tried to be president? Dude, we can't even pronounce your name. Buzz off. If the president says he's endorsing John Cornyn, I'm just going to tell you ahead of time, it might happen. We don't know. Maybe he's just going to put his foot on the gas and say, fuck it. Let me just go ahead and endorse Ken Paxton, because that's coming up. Okay. Either way, you need to rock with the president.
I agree, Gregory. He is a true patriot.
You don't know more than he
was one of the few down there trying to do something about the border.
He does. Bzz, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Okay? Look. In game, we have to win midterms. There's no second choice. There's no maybe, no.
You know that if they do win midterms, there's going to be endless impeachments. If they can get the Senate, they will take him out. And they'll take a lot of his cabinet.
No, because if they get back in and they get any ounce of power, they're already pissed the fuck off that we voted him back in. They will make your life hell on earth. You have to vote like your life depends on it, because it absolutely does. I'm telling you, we might have to plug our nose and vote for some shit that might make you puke. Just rock with it right now. We got to get what we need done. Just period. We got to win the midterms. Save America Act. We got to get it passed. John Cornyn, you son of a bitch, you better rock with the president. Oh, John Thune, why are you just big for no reason? We're sick of your ass too. But we need you to do what the president says. Chuck Schumer and all the Democrats, you racist Southern Dixie Democrat, rotten old motherfuckers. You don't represent black folks. Let me tell you that from every FBA in the country right now, you do not represent us. You fucking hate us. We know you do. You've never done anything for us except expect for us to vote for you every 2 to 4 years to 6 years. You are useless. You ain't done nothing for us. We are going in the better direction. Piss off.
Agree. I got a couple, a little warning for these. These are they're not graphic, but they are ones that are going to get your blood pressure up. So I saved them to the end here. These 2 short videos. Here we go. It's going to pee you off to no end. It does me. It irritates me.
I'm not fucking playing with you, bro. I'm gonna show you niggas. You niggas can't fuck with me, nigga. Y'all niggas watch how the fuck y'all talk to me. You gonna start riding my face? Slick shit, bro. What the fuck is wrong with your bitch ass? Fuck is wrong with you, nigga? And the next time I ever hear you,
they're laughing about it, not trying to stop it.
Say something about my mama, nigga, I'm gonna kill your ass. Watch how the fuck you talk about my fucking mama, nigga. Alright, my bad, bro. No, fucking playing with you. Don't ever talk about my mama again, nigga. Alright, I'm sorry. That's my mama, nigga.
Okay, later.
I love my motherfucking mama, bro. Alright. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gonna quit fucking playing with me, nigga. The next time I hear you say something, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass, nigga, till you fucking bleed to death. Quit fucking playing with me, bitch. Alright.
I don't know why that's funny.
Go sit on the fucking couch. Go.
I don't see why that's funny. Not at all. And no one else tried to stop it at all. All right, this is in a Muslim class. And they want to bring this to our classes here with Sharia law. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's almost 7 o'clock, and besides, you probably wouldn't be able to watch the whole thing. But I won't play the whole thing. You won't believe how bad they treat the women there. It's really bad. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna let everyone go. Talk to you all tomorrow. I should be on at 5 unless something big comes up. All right. Take care. God bless. Bye bye. 5 Eastern time. God bless. Bye bye.